everyone, we are the Group 3 and we will discuss the Republic Act number 7877 or shall be known as the Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995. So I am Rubian Cajegas and I will discuss what sexual harassment is. Republic Act number 7877, an act declaring sexual harassment unlawful in the employment, education, training environment, and for other purposes. This act was approved on February 14, 1995 and became effective on March 5, 1995 after its publication in Malaya and Times Journal on February 18, 1995. Sexual harassment is the act of demanding, requesting, requiring sexual people from another, whether accepted or not, by a person whose authority, influence, or moral ascendancy in the workplace, educational, or training environment. So next, what is sexual harassment under Republic Act 7877? It is committed. From that definition of sexual harassment, it is committed in workplace, educational, or in training environment. Where can be there a sexual harassment? There can be a sexual harassment when the offender and the offended party are related to each other as employer to employee, teacher to student, trainer to trainee, or other setup where a person has authority, influence, or moral ascendancy over the other person in workplace, educational, or training environment.
Republic Act number 7877, Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995. Section 3. This section talks about work, education, or training-related sexual harassment that committed by an employee, manager, instructor, teacher, professor, and other person who, having authority, influence, or moral ascendancy over another in a work, or training, or education environment, demands, requests, or otherwise requires any sexual favor from the other. Section 4. This section talks about the duty of the employer or head of the office in a work-related education or training environment. Their duty is to prevent or deter the commission of acts of sexual harassment and to provide the procedures for the resolution, settlement, or prosecution of the act of sexual harassment.
Section 5. Liability of the employer, head of office, educational, or training institution. It says that the employer or head of office, educational, or training institution will be held liable for the damage arising from act of sexual harassment.
Section 6. Independent action for damages. In this section, it says that nothing can prevent the victim of sexual harassment from making a separate own action or agreement against the accused for the damage of cause. Section 7, which is penalties. In this section, it says that if you break the law, you can be imprisoned for a minimum of 1 month or a maximum of 6 months. It also has a fine of not less than 10,000 and not more than 20,000. But fines and imprisonment can be imposed depending on the discretion of the court. And any action arising from the violation of the provision of the Act shall prescribe in 3 years.
Section 8. Separability Clause says that any provision of this Act or any part thereof be declared invalid, the other provision insofar as they are separable from the invalid one.
Republic Act number 7877, Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995. Section 9, Repealing Clause. All laws, decrees, orders, rules, and regulations, other issuance of parts thereof inconsistent with the provisions. Section 10, Effectivity Clause. This act shall take effect 15 days after its complete publication in less 2 newspapers of general circulation.